We'll have one more song from him in a minute, and before that we'll ask him a load of... I'm going to do these quick fire questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
What's the best gig you've ever done?
Best gig that I've ever done. The one where I felt like I might have been most into it.
Yeah.
And excited to... probably CBGB's in about 1997, I think. Our old band Lorded went there after our second album, and we were pretty exhausted already by that point, but we managed to jump 2 or 3 feet in the air during the entire set, you know, and it was exciting, you know.
Do you remember where it was?
CBGB's?
Oh, CBGB's.
CBGB's is the legendary birthplace of punk rock in Manhattan, New York City, in the Bowery.
Right.
It was originally 1313 the Bowery. I think it was 1315 or something. Yeah. When we played it, it moved down the road for 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think Hilly Crystal was there, and all kinds of people who you wouldn't have. There were people around the city that we got to hang out with and meet. Dave Rave and Laura McNally, fantastic. Dave Rave was in the legendary Washington Squares in the 80s. Laura McNally's a terrific songwriter. They've been doing a duo around the New York sort of area for the last sort of 20 odd years. Who else? Tony Ramone. I had a sighting of Lou Reed that weekend. Yeah. Lou Reed and Laurie Anderson screeched to a halt in their Jeep across the road and considered it a good omen.
What's the strangest gig you've done?
Strangest gig? Well, we did a tour of Northern Ontario, tree planting camps.
Right.
And this is where you go far enough north. It basically goes down to freezing even in July, you know, after dark. Yeah. And we were playing in areas that far removed, and it was July, and it was still. For instance, we played with a PA system, and our amps all set up around a gigantic bonfire. Yeah. And basically, there were enough people around the bonfire to create this sort of steam, and enough booze being drunk and everything else. But all the steam coming off of us and the people and our drummer was creating ice on the cymbals. It was that cold. And cold. And I mean, you know, I had gloves with the fingers cut off for the nighttime playing because it literally was just free. You know, I had to knock the ice off the strings of my bass. It was crazy.
Right. It's time for our legendary 3, 2, 1.
That's it.
Yes, that's it. It's 3 reasons why I should come in and listen to you play.
Okay, right. Well, I suppose it depends on what I'm doing. One reason why you might want to come to see me play would be to see me play bass with someone, usually someone else, and do vocals with them, like Dave Celia. He generally needs me to play bass or a second guitar if it's just the two of us on acoustic guitars. Right. I'll wind up playing most of what I would play on the bass and a bit more on the guitar and doing harmonies. And it's nice because Dave's songs have a lot of harmonies, and I know most of them. So when we tour together, it's like a no-brainer, and that's terrific. And you know, we've done national radio. We've done the Bob Harris show on Radio 2, and a lot of the local. BBC. We haven't done Hereford and Worcester, but we've done a lot of the other, Exeter and Norwich and Sue Marchant's show in Cambridge, which is a great one. A lot of great folk music in Cambridge. What, another reason?
Go on, 2 more reasons. This is the one they always.
Well, I mean. I would have said to see me play Mad Bastard blues guitar. Yeah. I haven't been doing quite so much of that lately, but that's a sort of I don't know Telecaster abuse of the bluesy variety. you know, I don't know. I've played. I haven't really been playing that much guitar, sort of in earnest. It's taken me into the last few months for my to feel like I was sort of back on top of things a little bit. And
well, if you like bluesy stuff, have you tried the
cellar bar?
4-gate Street.
Cellar bar.
Cellar bar with Bob Jones.
Well, I haven't.
Take it down there.
I haven't. I probably should. I'll probably just take the acoustic actually. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you know, I could play blues on the acoustic, or I could do jazz, or I could do folky things, or these songs are I suppose relatively near to my heart in various ways. You know, some of them I've written, some of them I haven't.
Well, that's 2 reasons. One more.
Well, you also might. There's an entire other clique of people who've seen me do nothing but play drums for people.
Really.
Over the years in different capacities and in completely other environs, sort of socially and musicologically, from where I would have played bass or you know, or guitar, for instance. Let's say I wound up going on the road being drummer for this Memphis band, fantastic sort of institution of the Mondo Memphis variety from the 80s, called Tab Falco's Panther Burns, who were unfashionably rockabilly, but not even rockabilly, just completely beyond, you know, just really digging deep into the wellspring of American traditional music and the traditional music of the South in a lot of respects. And I learned a lot from that, and I learned a lot about, you know, kind of like having rough situations thrown in your lap and making the best of them. And I learned a lot from Tab Falco about grace under pressure, because there was plenty of both happening. You know.
Okay, I think that's 3 reasons. What about two famous people, dead or alive, you'd like in your band?
Well, I'll pick alive ones, because 2 of my favourite people who I've ever met in show business, who are also the nicest people ever, and also a great rhythm section drummer and bass player, are Chris and Tina from the Tom Tom Club, who and Talking Heads. I think when I first heard Psycho Killer by Talking Heads, I thought, wow, the bass is cool. And I wanted to play bass after that. You know, I love Paul McCartney's bass playing and other people's bass playing, but when I heard something that funky, you know, it made me really go for the bass. You know, and they're still together. They've just put another Tom Tom Club record. It's the bee's knees. And if I could get to their studio, I was way up north in New York somewhere. If I could get to their studio and record a few tracks with them, I'd be dead chuffed, you know.
That's the aim.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that'd be nice. You know, I mean, it's something that they run a studio. They have a terrific studio that they use to produce other records for other artists and themselves. So
why not?
Hey, you know, stranger things have happened.
Exactly. Of course it is.
Sure.
Go for it. And finally, one artist you could recommend to me to come up here to do a live acoustic session?
Well, let's see. Well, you've had Christina Maynard. Have you had Vault of Eagles? Or
no.
No. Okay. Well, Vault of Eagles, or this, or maybe Man Size, or oh God, you know, Mike Knowles. He could do a couple of his mellow, beautiful acoustic songs. He's got a few really songs that you could, you know, that songs that you could play. He's, you know, like I said, he does funny and he does slightly rude, but he also does beautiful songs that you could play to your grand.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for coming up tonight, entertaining us. And one more song to go. What are you going to do for us?
Well, I'm going to do a song by Dave Celia, who's touring the country, just because I can. And this is I don't know. This is from his first solo record.